We come to the computer that's hooked up to the laser engraver. Now this is an example of what we're actually going to cut. Now we have this, and of course you can see it's lasered on all the numbers. So we have to find the file. First, go to Corel Draw. It's either here or it's down below. Either one will turn on the program. Then at the top left, that's start a new file or open. So we're going to start a new file or open another one. We're going to open one because I've already got one made. On the desktop, there should be a file that says Wooden Safe Files. Desktop is here. Here's the folder with all of the things that we're going to do on here. And this one is dial. It's even highlighted right there. Dial, open. And you'll see the dial appear. So that's what it's going to look like. The tricky part of all this is simply setting up the printing. So here's print. You have to go to preferences. Do not just hit print. It is not ready yet. Preferences. We are going to be doing the back and forth cutting. That is called raster cutting. We don't want to do both, or vector, which is just moving around with a laser on. Raster cutting. And I want the power all the way up, and I want the speed down to about 40. It kind of depends on how hard the wood is for your speed, but 40 is pretty good. 30 starts getting a bit slow. It takes a little bit longer. But the thing on here that is missed most often is here, the horizontal and vertical size. Right now I'm telling the laser engraver that the piece I'm putting in is 8.5 by 11. It isn't. If I look up here behind it on where the dial is, it's 4.5 by 4.5. So you need to put that in here, 4.5 and 4.5. That is the most critical thing. Without it, nothing lines up. And then go ahead and hit OK. You are ready to print. Now at the laser engraver itself, this isn't on yet. This is the jig we're going to use. Now I must have had a harder piece of wood because that says speed 30, we did 40. That's okay. As long as it powers 100, you'll still easily see it. But as you can see, the dial just sits on here. Now if it matters to you which direction the grain is going when it's vertical, that's up to you. I don't really care, but so I'm just going to put it so the grain is vertical this way. Doesn't matter, but put it in tight against this ruler on the side, and this ruler doesn't have anything to push against. You just have to eyeball it. There's a ruler, and then there is a little tiny 1/8 inch thick bar that is aligning the ruler. You want to go up to that little bar on the edge, right up to the edge of this, but not over it. So I just stick my head over right there. So the edge of this jig is up to the edge of that bar, but not on top of it. Okay, now we can turn on the machine. That's back here on the left, a big flipper switch over here. It's going to get kind of loud. The fans turn on, and now it's ready to go. What we need to do now is get the Z height. We need to figure out how high that is. So the way we do that, I can't move this right now. I need to free this. So it is down here, XY off. XY off, question mark, it says go, stop. Hit go, and that actually disables it. Now I can move this all over the place, no problem. This is the thing that determines its height. So I flip it around. There are two little knobs and two little holes that they go into. So I know it's lined up right. They're magnetic, so it doesn't move. And I need the end of this touching the top of the surface I'm going to laser. So I got to drop this down quite a bit. All you have to do, press the down arrow. Just kind of hold it until it's about right. And now I'm going to raise it up, and then I'm just going to start tapping it until this just touches the top of that. Right there. That's it. If you went too high, then drop it down, you know, and so forth. So just keep playing with it until that edge just touches right there. Carefully flip that back over, and then hit reset. Now it's back where it started. I'm done. It is ready to go. I've already zeroed it correctly for X and Y. It was the Z we had to figure out. Okay, close the lid. The thing will not laser with the lid open. There's some sensors right here that will tell it if the lid is open or not. So now we're ready to send it here. So now on the computer, hit print. And now what'll happen is you'll see this green light come on. So it already came over, and now it's done, it's ready to go. If you are the very first one using the laser engraver today, the laser doesn't always start lasering immediately. So I hover over the stop button, reset it, and then start it over again. if that happens. So I'll hit start, go, and then take a look and see. There it is. It started right up. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But now let it continue its cut till it's completely done.